Welcome, everyone, to the Simply Real podcast. I'm so happy to have one of my summit speakers here today and just an all around wonderful person. Welcome, Vaisnavi Charan. Vaishnavi is the founder, podcast host, and yoga educator of Mindful Trinity in South Africa. Welcome, Vaishnavi. I'm so happy to have you on board with me today at the Simply Real podcast and also joining the second annual Healing Motivational Summit taking place in September. How are you doing this morning?
I'm absolutely awesome. Thank you, Jennifer, for this amazing opportunity. I mentioned this to you before, many times, in fact, that there's not many people like you in this world,
Mhm.
and we need more of you doing this. It's just raising the vibration. It's like a ripple effect. The more positivity, the more I think it'll be a better world for all of us to live in.
Ah, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Yes, this is definitely a passion, and you are a perfect fit for this summit, given your background, given your experience. And I've had a couple conversations with you, and your heart and your compassion definitely is a good match. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that you are the founder of Mindful Trinity, and you're based in South Africa, which just shows the diversity that this is a global summit. So we're just so excited to have you. So tell us a little bit about Vaishnavi.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so like you mentioned, I am a host of Mindful Trinity's podcast. It's basically on it's actually many mediums or many platforms, such as YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and a whole lot of other platforms. So I'm also the founder of Mindful Trinity. Mindful Trinity was founded in 2019. So when, I just realized and I felt a lot of stress, anxiety, depression, burnout, all of that on the rise. And I thought, what can I do to add value to the world or actually help myself in the process as well? Because if there's so much of negativity out there, and if we are not strong enough, we can also have that, affect us mentally,
Mhm.
emotionally, psychologically, and so forth. So I thought of starting a podcast. No, no, not the podcast. Starting Mindful Trinity, where I actually taught yoga to corporates because I come from the corporate environment and I know what I went through in corporate. I went through burnout. I went through a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and there also depression at times because all of us were trying to reach the top. And I'm not sure whether there's background noise from my side. Is there?
A little bit, but it's okay. I can still hear
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I actually thought, what can I do to make the world a better place for us to live in? So that's when I actually started Mindful Trinity, but my intention was to take this mindfulness and yoga to the corporate world because
Right.
a lot of them are going through all of these symptoms of stress, burnout, and all of that,
Yeah.
just to help them to live a much more stress free life, not thinking about what they can do for the organization to make money, but what they can do for themselves. It's because yoga is more of an internal journey.
Right.
We're not focusing on the outside. It's more about inside. How can we better our lifestyles? And we have to make changes in order to actually get to that or reach that
Exactly.
goal.
Yeah.
So I thought of actually bringing that, and then lockdown happened, COVID happened. We went into our first lockdown last year, March in South Africa. Then, more stress, more anxiety, more depression. So I said, okay, what can I do? Because I mean, it's not getting any better. It's actually getting worse. But I'm trying not to focus on the bad things because every time I went onto social media, there was only things about the virus. And it was actually affecting my mental health. It was causing more fear. So I said, okay, the only thing I can do is to unfollow all of these people that are causing more fear and they're not actually adding to my mental health in a positive way. I have to
Right.
unfollow them. But what can I do? So I thought of starting this podcast because I'm just giving more positivity and people, a lot of people that are actually hosted on the podcast, they are practitioners from mental health advocates to spiritual advocates to medical doctors. All of them came through with their expertise and their knowledge to educate myself and my audience. So that's more about me in a
Wow,
nutshell.
that's amazing. What I love, so many great things that you just said, but what I love is that you took the opportunity to think about those people in the corporate world because you're so right. When you're working that hustle and bustle every day, the 9 to 5, it can definitely have an effect on your mental health. And sometimes you forget to think about that first and put that first. And then that also affects the way that you work. Can you work efficiently? Are you product? In the productivity side of it. So that's wonderful that you brought that to the employees in that level. And I
Thank you.
also love that you said you unfollowed those people who are not
Mm,
adding value. And this is something we speak about a lot. So when you
mm,
start making that mindset shift,
mm,
you need to make sure that you are surrounded by a good set of people. So that means letting go of the toxicity, the letting go of the negative energy around you. So I love that you took that step, and that just shows that you were progressing in the right direction to elevate, which is wonderful.
Thank you. You know what? Also realized most of them that are sharing all of this negative news, they unaware of what they're doing.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's very innocent they're actually doing it, but
right.
when they actually get to know themselves better, it's more of, as I mentioned, it's a internal journey. Life should be an internal journey.
Exactly.
Trying not to focus on the outside, focusing on your inside. And how can you actually change? I also mentioned this recently in a blog that I wrote that the world is actually going through a shift right now, and we have an opportunity to either be a part of the shift or just watch it pass us by, be a
Right.
spectator. So we
Yeah.
have a choice.
Yeah,
Mm,
and the choice, the power of making that choice is so important. And yeah, we're all going through this transformation. So you can either choose to be stuck or you can
mm,
actually choose to transform and evolve. So that's a very important thing, which is definitely what the summit is doing. It's helping people to evolve. It's helping to make that shift that you're speaking about, and which is why it's so near and dear to my heart. And I was just so happy that you decided to come on board the summit as well. And it's so diverse that we have you in South Africa being able to join the summit. This is a global summit as well.
mm,
And I know during the height of the pandemic, you spoke about how that affected a lot of people there. And I think
mm,
that's also one of the reasons why we wanted to host this is because we're still struggling with the aftermath of the pandemic. Things don't look that great at the moment. The numbers
mm.
are going up a little bit in certain places. So while we're staying positive, we're going to keep those positive energies and vibrations going. We just want to make sure we're also reaching out to the community and helping in some way. So I know for you with Mindful Trinity, all the experience that you just talked about, your topic is going to be talking about overcoming diversity and healthy habits. Tell us a little bit about your involvement in the summit and how you think you're contributing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, as I mentioned, I'm grateful for the opportunity, firstly. And you know what? Also realized in life, there's always going to be challenges along the way. And
Right,
these challenges shouldn't be, holding us back. It should be an opportunity for us to step forward. It basically like
right,
building blocks. As you actually step on the block and you actually learn from it, overcome it, and you move forward. It's like going to the gym. You're building muscles, resistance. You're actually building your body. But just like that, we also need to build our mind. Our
good
mind
point.
can be, yeah, our mind can be our best friend or our worst enemy.
Right,
So the my point is, why would we want to be enemies with our mind? Because our mind is with us all the time. So we should
right.
actually become friends with this mind of
Well,
ours.
it's like the mind-body connection, making sure it's like an
Exactly.
integrated approach. Absolutely.
Yes. So a lot of my learnings I actually take from Vedic scriptures, because it gives me wisdom. And some of us may think, how can ancient knowledge be applied in our current day and age?
It
But it
can be.
can.
Absolutely
Absolutely.
believe in
Yeah.
that so strongly. If only
Mm,
everybody would take what our ancestors left behind
mm,
and use that ancient wisdom and knowledge, like you said, and apply it to everyday life,
mm.
we may have a different world that we live in today. So if everybody thought like you,
Exactly.
Vaishnavi, that would be a great thing.
Thank you. Yeah, slowly. I always say baby steps. So how would I actually add value to your summit? I'm just going to be speaking from my heart and giving
Right.
experiences what I actually went through and how I overcame it. I'm not sure whether you guys actually heard, whilst in America, in South Africa, even though we're in a pandemic, the whole world is actually going through it. We also went through other challenges. One of them being, I think it was a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, and if I'm not even counting anymore, or was it last month, in fact, we experienced a civil unrest. It was absolutely chaotic and traumatic at the same time.
Right.
So we were very uncertain. The pandemic is so uncertain. This also added to our uncertainty because we didn't know what's going to be, whether we'll wake up the next day, whether we'll be actually killed in our own houses. It was just so crazy. And afterwards, we never had water for a week. And yeah, and when we had the civil unrest, a lot of our major malls, food supply chain was affected. So we didn't know whether we'll have food. Some things like essentials such as bread, milk, and all of that we couldn't get. But during all that chaos, I'm also very grateful because we had lots of amazing men and women, I would say humanity or human beings that came to our rescue from other parts of South Africa that was not affected. I'm not sure whether international people were also included in this, but they brought food to our doorsteps.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah,
The power
and
of people and community coming together.
exactly. We also live not very far from a mosque in our area, and they have a borehole. I'm not sure whether you have any knowledge of what's a borehole.
I'm not sure. No, please explain.
So a borehole is basically like a well kind of thing.
Okay.
It's underground, so the
Okay.
water is
Okay.
from there, but they connect it such a way where you can actually open a tap and that water will come out.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Wow.
So this mosque actually has, I'm not sure how many liters or gallons of water in that borehole,
Right.
because according to them, it'll last for the next 20 or somewhat years.
Wow.
Yeah. So they gave us water from there, the same water we actually used for having a bath.
Right.
But for cooking and all of that, our friends nearby that weren't affected, they were giving us water. So we even took showers at our friends' houses. My day started later than normal, but we
Right.
overcame it.
You
Yeah.
see that, and when you overcome something like that, when you face that adversity, you have a different perspective in life, and that's exactly what you're bringing to the table. I mean, I'm sure there's so many people who've I never experienced that before,
Mm,
and being in the midst of that, but you learned how to get stronger. You talked about building your mindset muscle, and that was all
yeah.
part of it. I'm sure what you experienced there and all of that definitely helped to build your character, build your strength, and you stayed positive throughout all that. And that's exactly what we want to pass along to the world and the community, that it is possible in the face of adversity to keep rising up. It is possible when you're facing such challenges like that there are people that care. There are people that can reach out and help. And the power of community, that theme
Absolutely.
keeps coming up so much in every interview that I've been doing and every
Mm,
person that I've been speaking with. And it's so powerful, Vaishnavi. It's so powerful that power of community and the power of unity. So I love that you told us that story.
thank you for the opportunity again.
I know, absolutely.
Grateful.
I'm so happy that you have joined us. And so tell us a little bit, you have a family, kids, and
Yeah, so no kids. I do have a
okay.
family, my parents, of course, and my siblings. But that's about it. And I've got lots of like-minded friends, family.
Right.
Being part of your community also makes us family because we're connected, like-minded people
Yes.
connecting. So,
That's true.
yeah.
The
Mm,
platform of Clubhouse has definitely
mm,
given everybody the opportunity to connect. And I was just
yes.
having this conversation with somebody. I feel like if you're not on the platform and you don't understand how it works, you don't really truly get the value of it. I know a lot of
True.
people are like, oh, why do you spend so much time in Clubhouse? And I said, honestly, there's so many people that this help me. We're helping
Mm,
each other heal. And Vaishnavi, I can't even tell you the conversations that even with yourself, how you have helped me, how you have impacted me and
thank
my
you.
daily life, and things that you have said. Sometimes it's just one little word can make a difference in somebody's life. And that's what this
Absolutely.
platform is providing. And that's what this summit is going to provide. So again, we're just so happy you're joining the summit. And I can't wait to hear your topic. I can't wait to hear your presentation. And you are amongst many prestigious speakers and performers. So thank you once again.
Lovely.
Any lasting thoughts or advice for anybody out there who's listening?
I think just be the best version that you can be. No one can be you. You are unique, and you just keep on keeping on. Surround yourself with like-minded people that can actually add value to yourself. You will know how you feel when you're around their personality, their presence, what makes you feel a certain way. If you're feeling down, that means they're draining you. If you're feeling uplifted, that means they actually have a good energy and they are uplifting you. So you want to be more around people like that.
Right. I love that. Surround yourself with positive network of people and always keep uplifting each other. Thank you.
Yes.
Wonderful advice. Well, thank you, Vaishnavi, so much. Everybody look out for Vaishnavi. She will be joining the second annual Global Healing Motivational Summit happening on September 17th, 18th, and 19th. It's a 3-day live streaming event. And once again, we're just so happy that you are on board. So thank you, Vaishnavi. And we can't wait to see you at the summit.
Thank you once again. I'm absolutely grateful to you and to everyone that's also a part of it. And
Yeah.
see you soon.
All right. Take care. Have a good day.
Bye bye. You too.
Bye-bye.